Disney Infinity was canceled nearly 2 years ago, but we still occasionally get new bits and pieces of information regarding the canceled projects for the game. However, for the first time, we've got our hands on a physical part of the game that was never released to the public, an actual Peter Pan figure. Thanks once again to Twitter user and YouTuber Infinitier Adventures for sharing this discovery. A website called AliExpress, which allows users and companies to sell their items from their individual shops within the website, had this figure listed just a few weeks ago. We didn't report on it then in fear that the listing may have been illegitimate, but we decided to take our chances on it and find out for ourselves. The figure is indeed real and includes all the details we saw in previous concept art, as well as on the eBay listing for the figure that was sold earlier last year. Unfortunately, this figure does not work on the actual game. We did try it on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Wii U, and found that on all three platforms we received the same message stating that the game needed an update in order for the figure to work. Some have reported minor cosmetic defects or scratches on their figures, but ours seems to be in pretty good condition. One notable aesthetic difference in this figure from other Disney Infinity figures is that the Peter Pan figure has the RFID sticker visible on the bottom. Every Disney Infinity figure, with the exception of the Finding Dory ones, has a black cover to keep the RFID sticker hidden. It is important to note that the Finding Dory figures were released a month after the game was discontinued, an odd but perhaps noteworthy element. It seems like the figure was all but ready for release, according to previous Avalanche software animator Thomas Estrada, who took to Twitter to discuss with users the legitimacy of these figures. He said, quote, "I was actually surprised he didn't make it onto the disc. We finished animating him in-game." Unquote. When we found the listing a few weeks ago, there were a couple hundred available, which Estrada and the others seemed to not know about. It is perhaps possible that the manufacturing center in China, where the figures are produced, made a lot more of these than the team at Avalanche was aware of. Taking back to Estrada, he says, quote, "China apparently made more than we were aware of. It was my understanding that there were only about 40 or so made. It's a shame that the Peter Pan figure is only a few touches and an update away from being playable in the game, but at least the figure is out now in the wild for fans to get their hands on." A final quote from Estrada says, "The Pan animations were pretty much finished. That's why I was surprised he was not put on the final disc. He may have been missing FX and obviously coding was incomplete. At the end of the day, it's really wonderful to see that such a beloved character was able to somewhat make its way into Disney Infinity after all. Now Tinkerbell doesn't seem so out of place in the Disney Infinity lineup." For all things Disney Infinity and Disney in general, stay tuned to WDW News Today.